All right, good afternoon, Cubs fans. I decided to come in a bit earlier because there's just a lot of things to talk about. I'm going to go pretty quick and just basically discuss what the Cubs are doing with their bullpen this year and other things that are going on recently in baseball. And obviously, the big thing today is that Cuban phenom Yoan Moncada signs with the Boston Red Sox for, I think, $30 million. I could be wrong. But what makes this significant is the fact that the Red Sox are going out and they're getting people. You know, you saw him get Rusney Castillo, you see him get Moncada, and this is a guy that has been compared to Robinson Cano, somebody you'd probably want on your team. So, I mean, it sucks that the Cubs had to miss out on it, but at the same time, the Cubs were, a third or fourth option for him, so it wasn't really likely, but the Red Sox picked him up, showing that they are looking to win the American League East this year. And it's really possible. I mean, Tampa Bay probably not going to be as good. You look at the Yankees, they're still trying to rebuild. They're dealing with everything with Alex Rodriguez. The Orioles will still be pretty competitive. The Blue Jays, add in Josh Donaldson, they're going to be competitive, but it'll be an interesting race. Outside of the AL East and into the Chicago Cubs, let's talk about the bullpen. For years, the Chicago Cubs bullpen was really what brought them down. Notably, you could look at 2003, look at 2004 at the end of the year, where Troy Hawkins could not save a game to keep himself going, to keep the Cubs going, as they easily could have been in the postseason that year. And really, as of recent, looking at 2012, 2013, the Cubs struggled a lot with their relief. But 2014, you saw a big change. You had the three main guys in the back of your bullpen who were anchoring the team. Pedro Strop, Hector Rondon, Neil Ramirez. These three fireballing righties are really what's going to be the heart of the Cubs bullpen. Now, we can pretty much assume that Hector Rondon has a job as a closer. That's what Joe Maddon's approaching. That's what the Cubs are going to approach going into the season. It's his to lose. But even if he's not able to get that job, Neil Ramirez is fit for it. Pedro Strop is fit for it. Those are three guys. If you have them go 7th inning, 8th inning, 9th inning, it's going to be very hard to get past them. They're great at striking guys out. They're great at throwing 96, 97. They're tough guys to hit. And that was really what kept the Cubs going at a lot of times last year, had them save more games that they probably would have lost in 2013. Neil Ramirez emerged in his rookie season to be one of the best young relievers in baseball, and that's something that's really encouraging. So when you have those three guys in the back end of your bullpen, that's something that will give them a significant advantage and could make it one of the best 1-2-3 punches in the late relief in baseball. So that's really something you got to look for, something that the Cubs have to capitalize on. Outside of that, that's where you see a bit more question marks. You still have Zach Rosscup, who struggled quite a bit last year. And then really outside of that, Brian Schlitter, who struggled at times last year. Justin Grimm, shown to have a fireballer, was initially supposed to be a starting pitcher, has proven to be pretty effective in the bullpen. So those are guys you can expect to come back and be in the bullpen. Then you have the additions. You have Jason Mott coming in. You don't know how he's going to play after injury. If he plays well, he's really been a consistent reliever for the St. Louis Cardinals in years past. If he's able to translate that momentum and translate that energy into the Cubs bullpen, that'll make their middle inning relief arguably just as strong as their late inning relief. So Jason Mott can play a huge part in the Cubs bullpen and really can be seen as the X factor this year, whether he's healthy and playing well. And outside of that, the other people that you're going to look to fill in those bullpen spots are the people that don't get the jobs in the starting rotation. We still have Edwin Jackson on our hands. You don't know what's going to happen with him. Is he going to be released? Is he going to be put in the bullpen? I doubt that he'll get that fifth starter job, because if the Cubs are looking to compete, that's a risk that really you can't be able to take. I've already expressed my interest in having Tsuyoshi Wada be the fifth starter, but then that leaves out Travis Wood. And Travis Wood reportedly rejected a 4-year contract extension last year, right after he came out of that 2013 season where he was an all-star. So that leaves Travis Wood undecided about his future. He's a huge trade chip, but if he ends up staying on this team, he can be your long relief guy, play a role similar to what Carlos Villanueva did, in a role that Carlos Villanueva performed quite well in. So if you put Travis Wood in that role, you have Tsuyoshi Wada as a fifth starter, you have Travis Wood as a late inning relief, or middle inning relief, long relief guy. Then you have a lot of other weapons that are going to be competing for those spots. And really, you got to look at the lefties, because you have a bullpen with no lefties. So if you put in Felix Doubront, Travis Wood potentially, Eric Jokic. Those are all guys that are going to be competing for these spots, because outside of that, the only lefty you really have lined up is Zach Rosscup, and we already talked about his struggles. He's going to be turning 27, so you really want to see if he can maintain that potential that we saw in him for a very long time. Other than that, though, with a very good rotation, when you're looking at the lineup going, Lester, Arrieta, Hendricks, Hamill, and then whoever the fifth starter may be, you're looking at a really dangerous rotation, and you're probably going to get starters that are going to be able to flex into the late innings more than they did last year. Joe Maddon's a guy that has that power, and he's going to be pushing for that, especially if this team's competitive. Now, it's not really good to be Dusty Baker pushing for it and have your young guys. I don't want Jake Arrieta pitching 130 pitches a game like Mark Pryor was, but at the same time, we have to realize that there's going to have to be more late-inning flexibility with the starting rotation. John Lester's used to it. He was in an organization that was perennially competitive. You get Jake Arrieta on that schedule, make sure that he's getting more used to pitching 7 to 8 innings a game, and then we'll see what Kyle Hendricks can do. We'll see what Jason Hamill can do, and then on the other end, you look at somebody else. Maybe Tsuyoshi Wada gets its spot. The soft tossers, they're probably able to go a bit longer. So those are all things we have to look for, and really, it could turn out to be quite beneficial. Joe Maddon's liking the camaraderie and the energy of this Cubs team. I'm liking it. I'm excited, and I'm ready for spring training, just for the games to start and eventually the regular season. So we have hope from Clark and Addison because our bullpen is looking great, especially if everything turns out with a guy like Jason Mott. Other than that, I'll be back here on Wednesday to give you guys another update on what's going on in baseball and what's going on with the Cubs. Other than that, just not that long until spring training, and I'll be back for daily videos then. So go Cubs, Emis Katuli, and let's look forward to 2015.